Rosann here, your nutrition and fitness coach at Fit for Life Body. So, an exercise that a lot of women have told me that they struggle with is planks. Now, planks come in all different variations. So many different ways that you can challenge yourself with a plank. But a plank, basically, a lot of people view a plank as a core strengthening exercise, and it definitely is core strengthening. But, and when I say core, what I'm talking about is I'm talking about those abdominal muscles, I'm talking about those obliques, and I'm talking about those lower lats in the back, as well as all those deep inner abdominal muscles as well. So what happens with a plank though is we often have to engage our legs and our glutes and our arms and our shoulders and our chest to hold ourselves in that position. So it ends up really being more, it's said that it's a core exercise, but it really is a full body conditioning type of exercise. And it can be difficult for a lot of people. A lot of people complain that they have pain in their lower back when they're holding that plank. So I just want to kind of give you some different variations of planks and some tips on how to prevent that lower back pain when you're doing your plank. So first thing is progression, okay? Don't start doing really advanced level planks or holding your plank for, a lengthy amount of time if you're brand new to doing exercise, if you don't have any, real abdominal strength or core strength. You definitely want to start out slow and steady and gradually progress your way up, okay? Now, some people say when you start out slow and steady, that means that you have to be down on your knees. And if you've watched any of my other videos or you've listened to me coach at all, or if you've been in this fitness room with me training, you know that I will sometimes let my clients start on their knees, but I really prefer in most cases, not in every case, but in most cases, I prefer that they start on their feet. And the reason for that is because the way we build muscle and strength, the way we get stronger is by having time under tension and having those muscles under tension for, a certain amount of time. And having it to be a certain amount of resistance also. So yes, you can get a good core strengthening feel like this, but most people are strong enough that this is not going to be enough to really develop your core muscles, okay? Most people have enough core strength to do this for 30 seconds, 1 minute, whatever, okay? Likewise, doing it this way, okay? But when we come up on our feet, it's a whole different scenario. You're really engaging all of your muscles at that point to be on your feet and to hold that position. So my tip for you on how to make it so that your lower back doesn't hurt when you're doing a plank hold is to round your back a little bit, okay? So what often causes that pain is we start to drop down like this, okay? And that does hurt. So you want to make sure that your body is in a nice neutral alignment, okay? You don't want that arch in your back. So what I say is take that lower back and just, see, this is normal. Just kind of bend it a little bit, okay? By doing that, what you're doing is you're not bringing your butt up, because we don't want our butt up in the air. That's a different type of exercise. But what you're doing is you're just taking the pressure off of your back and you're putting it more in your abs, in your obliques, in your arms, in your glutes, in your thighs, okay? So you're just taking the pressure off of your back. So if you start to feel at any point during your plank like that lower back area is hurting, check your form and make sure that you are rounding it just a little bit, okay? And you will be able to hold that plank a little bit longer. It is perfectly normal for everybody at all fitness levels, myself included, to shake all over, to have every muscle in your body shaking while you're holding that plank. That is normal, and that is a good sign that it's working, okay? So that's my tip for you. Now, another tip for you on planks is if you feel like it's really just too hard for you to do a plank on the floor, even on your knees, okay? If you feel like it's just, for whatever reason, maybe you have an injury, maybe you have like some kind of structural issue where your body just doesn't move the right way, or it's just struggling to hold that position, you can take that plank to an incline. So for example, I'll just use this because I have it handy. You can use like a box or a weight bench or a chair, something that's sturdy, and you can put your hands on it like this, put your feet together, heels together, and you can hold that plank that way. Now, to me, that feels way too easy. It doesn't feel challenging enough. So you have to know your body, you have to know your own fitness level, and if you are in that position and you are not shaking all over and breathing heavy and getting to the point where you're like watching the clock, is it 30 seconds yet? If you're not feeling that way on that, it's not challenging enough. So you want to make sure you're challenging yourself adequately. So different ways that you can do planks though. You just saw one of those ways, okay? You can do a high plank, okay? There's a low plank. There's an exercise where you go down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. Okay, those are called, well, depends on who you talk to. There's a lot of different names for those, but basically I call them doughboys, okay? So you can do those. There's also the plank with the hip drop, where you're down on your forearms. So you're in a low plank, you drop the hip to the side, bring it back up. Drop it to the side, back up, back up, back up, okay? That's a plank. There's the plank with the toe tap. So maybe you've mastered this and you're ready to move on to something a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more difficult. Start tapping the foot out while you're holding that plank. Okay, so that's an option as well. Another option is you can elevate your feet and hold a plank. So you can elevate them up on a bench, which is one way, and I'll just demonstrate that. So your feet go up on that sturdy surface, okay? And you just hold it, all right? Making sure to round that back, but not bringing the butt up in the air, okay? So that's another way of doing it. If you want to go even more difficult, another way of doing a plank is with a Bosu ball. Now I know that this was initially about people who struggle with planks, but I'm just giving you options for different ways you can challenge your body, because at some point you are going to get good at doing planks. So 2 ways we can do planks with, actually 3 ways we can do planks with a Bosu ball. One is you put it on the round side, put your hands on each end, okay, and you hold your plank, okay? That's one way. Another way you can do it is you can put one hand in the center, one hand on the floor, hold your plank, okay? You can also do push-ups that way. Another way you can do it is flip it over, put your hands on the cushy side, the ball side, hold that plank, okay? Another way you can do it is flip around, put your feet on it, all right? And hold that plank. Make it even more difficult, flip it onto the unsteady side. Put your feet on it. You want to put them somewhere in the center. Hold that plank, okay? You want to go even more difficult. Grab a medicine ball. All right, same thing. You can do hands on it. Hold that plank. All right, or you can flip it around, put your feet on it. A little bit more challenging. Put your feet on it, hold that plank. Okay? So as you see, there are so many different ways that you can do planks. And I am a big proponent of repetition with workouts because repetition helps to build strength and build muscle, but you can still work the same muscles and do slightly different variations of those exercises to kind of make it so that you're not like bored out of your mind doing the same exact exercise moves day after day, week after week, month after month, right? And so it just, it shakes things up. It makes life more interesting, makes your workouts more interesting, and challenges you just a little bit more each time you do it. But yeah, so if you're struggling with planks, start out slow, start out with nothing. Another way you can do planks is you could take a heavy plate and put it on your back, and that will also strengthen you even more. But that, again, those are more advanced level things with planks. But don't be afraid. You can also do a plank with one leg lifted up in the air. So I could just go on and on. There's a million different exercises that you can do, which is one of the reasons I love fitness, because you can never get bored with it. You know, give me any muscle, part of your body, and I will try to come up with a various different ways that you can, work that muscle and have it be effective and have it be interesting and challenging. So, that just goes to prove you don't necessarily need to do every workout in a gym. As long as you've got your body and some basic equipment, you can do a great workout anywhere from home or on vacation or anywhere. So, but yeah, if you're just starting out with those planks, just focus on high plank, focus on low plank, round that back a little bit, making sure that your feet are together, your toes are together, your heels are together. Tighten up your legs, tighten up your arms, tighten up your core, all right? And when I say tighten up your core, imagine you are pulling on a pair of jeans, okay? And they're a little bit snug and you gotta zip them up, right? And what do we do as women when we go to zip up a pair of tight, snug jeans? We naturally go and we suck in our tummy, right? While we're zipping up our jeans. So that sensation of sucking in those muscles, that's engaging your core muscles. So whenever I say, or whenever somebody else tells you engage your core, that's what we're talking about. Contract those abdominal muscles and those obliques, okay? So, but start with even just like 15 seconds. Like I said, I did this with push-ups the other day. I said, when you do push-ups, you can start on your knees, but really the best thing to do is just start on your hands and your feet and just don't go as deep at first. Don't do as many or whatever. Well, the same holds true with planks. Start on your hands and your feet and only hold it for 10 seconds if that's all you can do. But do like 5 sets of holding it for 10 seconds, okay? There's also, I almost forgot to tell you about the other planks that you can do. There are side planks also, and there's so many variations of side planks. But basically, side planks, you come down on either on your forearm, okay, and put your hand on your hip and hold yourself up. You can put a hand up in the air. You can put a leg up in the air. You can do the same thing in a high plank position, all right? hand up in the air, leg up in the air. All right. Yeah, just make sure if you do side planks, if you do one side, you really need to make sure you do the other side. Don't skip out on the other side because the other side needs to be worked also. You want to have muscle balance in your body. But with the planks, the side planks, you can do those with all the equipment that I just shared with you. You can have one leg up on the bench and one leg underneath the bench. You can put your legs up on a Bosu ball. You can put your hands up on a Bosu ball. You can do all of the exact same things with a side plank that you can do with a regular low plank or high plank. So yeah, so it's kind of cool the things that we can get our body to do, but just start with those like 10 seconds, move it to 15 seconds, move it to 20 seconds, 30 seconds, get yourself all the way up to a minute. And when you've mastered being able to hold that plank for a minute, then start adding some different variation to it to progress and get stronger. All right. So I hope that was helpful. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.